It's the NFL on EA Sports. And our focus is on Jerome Baker, who really led his defense last week with a 10-tackle game. It's the Dolphins and the Eagles under the lights on Sunday night.
It's the NFL on EA Sports as you take a look there at Lincoln Financial Field in Philadelphia, PA. Tonight we've got a great Sunday night matchup on tap as it'll be the Miami Dolphins taking on the Philadelphia Eagles. With Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. And Charles, you look at this Eagles team as they enter play here. They've got all W's on the ledger so far, a perfect 6-0.
Yeah, still a long way to go in this season, but they're showing everyone early on that they intend to be there in the end.
Meanwhile, for our visitors, the Dolphins, they were losers their last time out. They're going to try to get back in the win column, but obviously they're going to have to do that in a hostile environment.
And sometimes that actually works to your advantage. Now you've got to band together your team, the us against the world mentality. Let's see if they can use it and get a victory.
No run back here on the opening kickoff as we'll start at the 25. Now Tua Tagovailoa gets set to lead this Dolphins offense for the first time.
I think his task in this game is really simple. Eliminate the turnovers. He threw 2 interceptions last week. I can't believe I led with that because he had 3 touchdown passes.
Right.
So there's a lot of good that he did, but he's got to take care of the ball better. The ball has to go to guys wearing the jerseys that they're wearing this week, not the opposition.
Off of play action, Tagovailoa. The throw left sideline falls incomplete. And despite injuries like these, Charles, with these guys missing, they've been able to keep that pursuit of perfection alive so far.
That just shows the depth that they have on the roster and the guys who are serious about being ready when their number is called. Someone goes down, someone jumps in, and they don't skip a beat. I think this team has a bunch of those guys, and some of them will be called on again this week.
Yeah, this will be a gain of 5 as he gets it to the 30. And CD, defensively, you're going against a hot quarterback coming off a 3-touchdown game and a victory a week ago. What's the big key for them to try to slow him down?
You ask all the tough questions, don't you, partner? Because with this guy, if you blitz him, he takes advantage of that man coverage and burns you. But if you bring on those extra DBs, he sits back there and does what he wants. To me, it's going to be those DBs. When they catch the ball, big-time tackles really put it on those receivers.
And the punter Bailey on now as he sends this one away. This is fielded at the 27. That'll be a 41-yard punt, just 1 yard on the return. And it will be Eagles football, 1st and 10. So here come the Eagles, the defending NFC champs, led out by a man who was the runner-up to Patrick Mahomes at MVP balloting a season ago. Of course, that's Jalen Hurts.
And I think if you ask most folks to give you their first half MVP, very likely they're going to say it's this man right here. The NFL's leader in touchdown passes to this point in the season. Still 2 months to go. But if he keep going to the pace he's at, this is going to be a dangerous team come January, and he could very well walk away with the MVP.
And he's going to take this ahead for right around 3 yards, but no more than that. 2nd down. The numbers for him from a week ago. 14 carries, 116 yards, and a trip to the end zone.
And the way they ran the ball in last week's game has to be satisfying to their entire staff because they're seeing not just a back gain big yardage, but they're seeing...
Oh, his first throw of the game going to be intercepted. Picked up by Xavier Howard. And this one will be brought back to the 22.
And Brandon, this is a real nice job defensively of getting inside a quarterback's head and figuring out, okay, where's he going with the football? Because you can make an educated guess defensively, not all the time, but sometimes. And when you're right, you've got a decent chance of coming away with the football.
So Miami coming out for their 2nd drive. They'll have very good starting field position here after the turnover as they search for the first points of the ball game. After the turnover, it's Tua. And that one drops down, incomplete. Good coverage there, forced the ball free, and it's 2nd down.
I think we can all understand what they're thinking right now. They take over the ball in field goal range after the turnover, so they've got that in their hip pocket. But they've got to go for the end zone and turn this into bigger points. Their thinking is a touchdown is really what they should get from starting here. Getting 3 points at the end of this drive, that would feel disappointing.
4 yards the gain, and it'll bring up a third down.
I think the best offenses love to get the ball to their running backs in open space because they have the ability to make people miss, and they also have the ability to run over people. And if you do that throughout the game, after a while, they might just run through some of those tackles.
Looking for Landry, and it's intercepted. And the Eagles are going to get the football here at their own 23. So the ball changing hands on the interception, but meanwhile here we do have an injury on the play. Hopefully, obviously nothing serious here. Medical staff, though, going to take a peek, and we'll take a break. They'll start on the ground with Swift. Looking for a seam, but finding none. He'll get back to the line of scrimmage, and that's it. Tackled by Bradley Chubb, the number 5 pick in the 2018 draft. But Charles, something we talked about last week, when you start believing whether you're in the midst of a special season or not. Well, now they're at 6-0. Are you still trying to tamp down the expectations in that locker room?
Well, to me, it's less about tamping down expectations and much more about not getting ahead of yourself as a team. And look, they've got to play each game individually, right? Many teams talk about being 1-0 at the end of each and every game each week. To me, you've got to understand you cannot win the Super Bowl in October.
Now throwing on third down there, but he cannot connect.
That looks like it's going to be 2 empty possessions now to start this football game. I think they're going to have to sit down and talk about what worked for them last week in their win. Sometimes you over-game plan, overthink things. Get back to what works.
On 4th down, punt coming from Braden Mann. Back deep is Tyreek Hill. They only punted twice in the win last week as he gets this one away. That's taken on the 25. Gets past one man. And he'll be out of bounds across the 30-yard line. A 7-yard return following a punt of 45 yards. And it'll be Dolphin football. Tagovailoa and the Dolphins come up 1st and 10 at about the 32. Trying to shake off the interception from the last drive. He'll look to throw. And he'll get it up near the 35, right at the 34 here. So give him 2 yards there on the completion, and it'll be 2nd down. Now flags will come in. I think this one's going to be on the defense for jumping.
Encroachment, defense.
A bit of a jump there, CD. He breaks the line, and that'll be 5 yards.
And you've got to stay more disciplined than that, Brandon. That's just a free gift to the offense.
Tagovailoa to throw on 2nd down here. That's going to be caught by Waddle. And Waddle going to have a Dolphins 1st down up to the 47-yard line. Waddle's first catch, good for a 1st down. Here's Tagovailoa to throw. Firing quickly here, and that's complete. And he's going to get a solid gain of 9 before being brought down. 2nd and right at a yard. We've seen quite a bit of the short passing game here early on 1st quarter, haven't we?
We have, and I think it works a couple of ways for this team because, number one, you throw the short game until they stop it. And if they're not going to stop it, you keep throwing it, and occasionally you'll break a tackle and turn it into a bigger gain. Also, if they start to creep up, start to pressure receivers, now you go over the top, take it deep, and now you get some of those big shots downfield.
That 2nd down play nets a -4.
This defense is a difficult one to prepare for, one of the best in the league. They'll come at you from all angles, and they did a nice job there stopping him for a loss.
Work in the middle of the field, and he's got a man complete. And he has another 1st down as he'll get the ball down to the Eagles' 31-yard line. First catch there for Hill, and he's got a 1st down. We're scoreless after one. It's Dolphins football here as we begin the second quarter, as they've got it with a 1st and 10. Tagovailoa working out of the gun. This one thrown underneath to A-Chain. And he's able to break out of one tackle, but then quickly brought down. So give him 5 yards there on the pitch and catch, and that'll make it 2nd down. Well, that's now 4 completions in a row. A good bounce back following the interception last drive.
Certainly not letting it affect him, that's for sure. And we all know interceptions are going to happen.
But he's free going down the left side. It's a foot race. And he will take it in for a Dolphins touchdown. Devon A-Chain, his first rushing touchdown on the year. And the Dolphins post the first points of the ball game as they take the lead here in this second quarter. So after a scoreless first quarter, our first score of the game here in quarter number 2.
And it comes on a great run too, Brandon, because once he got past that first wave, how about how he kicked it into high gear, able to outrace defenders all the way to the end zone.
Extra point up and good by Sanders, and it's now a 7-0 game. And not much happening on the return as he'll get this to about the 23. Here's the Philadelphia offensive unit now as they head out to take over possession. Not only are they in search of their first score, they're in search of their first down in this ball game as they come up 1st and 10. Throwing is Hurts. Going deep here for Watkins. And that's caught inside the 35. Touchdown, Philadelphia. Watkins, his 3rd touchdown now on the year. And the Eagles are able to strike quickly here as they are in for 6. And that time he came out of the slot for that big play downfield for the score.
I think what we just saw there, partner, is what we call scheming a guy open. Put him in the slot, know that he has tremendous speed. What you're doing with your other receivers is likely running shorter routes to draw the attention closer to the line of scrimmage, to give him a chance to get downfield and turn it into a one-on-one route, often against the safety. You like your odds when he's running against the safety. His speed usually wins, and it did on that play.
So with the missed PAT in his rearview mirror, he goes back out to kick this one off. And it'll come out to the 25 as he will not attempt a return. So now the Dolphins set to take over on offense. They're looking to bounce back following the loss to Miami a week ago, and they've got the lead right now as they come up with a 1st and 10. They fake the handoff. Now Tua. Rush coming, and he's taken down. That's sack courtesy of the effort of Hassan Reddick.
Another nice play there by Reddick. More evidence that sometimes a position change is exactly what a player needs. Totally reinvented as an edge rusher instead of playing linebacker. 2nd in the NFL with 16 sacks in his first season with the Eagles in 2022.
Tua wants to throw it on 2nd down. Open man is Waddle, complete. It'll be a gain of 5, and they'll be facing a 3rd and 12. Let's see what they have drawn up here. A little bit behind the line. 12 yards needed to gain a 1st down. Throwing is Tagovailoa on 3rd down here. He's got his target. That's complete. And he is going to have the Dolphins 1st down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion. And a good quarterback facing zone coverage. If he has just a little bit of time to survey the scene, that's what's going to happen.
No doubt about it. If there's no pressure, he's going to continue to pick them apart because he'll have all that time to find someone open downfield. He can only cover for so long. So maybe they want to go to a zone blitz scheme, get a little bit more pressure. Remember when Carolina did that against Denver? They lost the game ultimately. They dropped the defensive end out, and he ended up with an interception in that game in Super Bowl 50. Maybe some sort of scheme like that to try and get more pressure at the passer.
And he'll be brought down right at the 45-yard line. It's a pickup of 12, and that'll set up a 3rd down.
I don't think anyone thought we'd see a run face him 2nd and now long, and that element of surprise, I think helped make that play so successful. Nice effort on that carry, and it took what seemed like second and impossible. Now has him within throwing range of the first down.
And they went the wrong way there. Losing yardage back at the 43-yard line.
Well, we know the guys up front have to protect when it's a pass play, but it's really out wide. Sometimes you're going to swing a tight end or maybe even offensive tackle to get out there, but most of the time it's fellow wide receivers, and they really weren't up to the task there, were they?
Do you like that call on your own side of the field?
I don't mind that call at all, just about anywhere. But the key is you have to have the confidence, and then they have to execute their blocking assignments. Otherwise, you get the end result we just saw there.
On 1st and 10, it's Hurts. In trouble here, and down he goes. Back at the 8-yard line. It looks like a loss of right around 11 there on 1st down to set him back on 2nd.
Well, that's an excellent way to get the pass rush activated. The first sack of the game for them comes on the first play of the drive, and it makes it very tough for the opponent to pick up a 1st down now, playing behind the sticks.
And they're able to bring him down at the 20. Now the Dolphins going to burn the first of their timeouts as they'll head to the sideline and talk over what to do next. They'll try and set up the screen to Swift. And he's taken down but able to slip across the 35. Another nice gain. That's now 30 yards between those last two plays.
We can talk all we want about football being a game of strength and brawn. It's also a game of mismatches, and they're trying to create one there, getting it to their back out of the backfield to make a bigger play.
As we often say, get it to him in space, let him use his leg.
Yeah, if he can get a matchup against a linebacker or maybe a defensive end dropping out in a zone blitz, he's going to win that battle just about every time.
On 2nd down, Swift. There he goes, right side. DeAndre Swift, touchdown, Philadelphia. DeAndre Swift, 62 yards. And the Eagles will take the lead here in the final minute of the first half.
How about the vision on the run here? This one's intended to just be a straight dive up the middle. But once he gets through traffic, he sees that the open space is to the outside, so he's just going to angle himself out wide and win the race to the pylon.
Elliott good with a PAT, and that'll make this a 6-point game. Now after the touchdown, here's Elliott on to kick it away. And no thought to bring this one out. He'll just go down to a knee, and they'll take over at the 25. The Dolphins taking over now late in this first half. With this slim deficit closing in on the end of the first half, we'll see if they can move this at least into field goal range and try to get 3 out of this drive. Tua now on 1st down. Over the middle and complete to Waddle. And they're able to get this one across the 35. The Dolphins going to take their 2nd timeout as the clock will stop with 33 seconds to go in the first half. On 1st down, Tagovailoa. He'll swing this out to Mostert. Now a stoppage here as it looks like we've got a Dolphin shaken up on the play. While they come out and take a look at him, we will step aside for just a moment. On 2nd down, Tua. That's caught. Waddle on the left side. And a 6-yard gain gets him right around the 43. The Eagles going to take the first of their timeouts. So as they talk it over, we step aside. They like going to him in the slot. He catches another one.
I think this comes under the heading of until they stop him, why not go back to it? He has something going really well. Great working relationship with the guy throwing the ball, and they keep making the connection.
They'll let this go deep for Waddle. Oh, and his early struggles continue. Here's another one intercepted. Darius Slay with a pick. And the Eagles are going to get the football here at their own 40-yard line. Well, and I saw the pressure coming out, and that just looked problematic. Hit him as he threw it, and the interception ensued.
Let me pay homage to the man who stood in this spot before. He always talked about how much pressure is in the face of a guy, and can he step into a throw. And when you can't do that, oftentimes interceptions result.
And he takes it past the 45 and down at the 46. Yeah, so they get that one, Charles, on the right tackle.
Yeah, oftentimes in that spot, you're trying to work against a defender, trying to set the edge in the running game, and you're trying to drive around and get your body twisted so that he can't get there. Sometimes your hands get too involved.
He's going to look deep for Watkins. And he knocks the ball away, and it falls incomplete. So we have reached halftime in what's a 6-point game at the break. As we'll send you down the coast now to Orlando, that's where we find Jonathan Coachman, ready with our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach.
Okay, Brandon, thanks very much. Welcome in, everyone, to our EA Sports Halftime Report. Let's get you caught up on what's going on around the NFL. We'll get started over at the Caesar Superdome in New Orleans. And as you see, they were winners back on Thursday night. Derek Carr, a very good performance as his guys run the record now to 5-2. Next, we head up to the Windy City. Check on the Bears at home, Soldier Field. And they were winners in that one over the visiting Raiders. 20-17, your final.
And lastly, on Monday Night Football, our friend Alan Roach can't wait for this one. The Niners and Vikings from Minnesota at 8:15 Eastern Time. We watched a solid performance out of running back DeAndre Swift. He had a touchdown run that helped get his guys this halftime lead. This has certainly been a fun one to watch so far. We knew this was going to be a battle, and we have not been disappointed. This is the kind of game that could wind up hinging on which side can play mistake-free football the rest of the way.
Both these teams making their final halftime adjustments. We're just about ready to get back to football. So for the call of the second half, we get back up to Philadelphia and Brandon Gott.
And he will make it to the 20-yard line and no further. So here are the Eagles to take over. Their win streak at 6 coming in and counting as they've got the lead right now, beginning this drive 1st and 10. Throwing from the gun, it's Hurts. And that's out to the flat for Swift. And he's brought down at the 24 after a gain of 4.
Well, offensively, that's the mismatch that you want. You want to force a linebacker to try and cover your back out of the backfield, out in some open space. But linebackers nowadays, they run like backs, and they take a lot of pride in covering. What a nice play he made there in the open field.
Even with that broken tackle, can't get very far. Stops short of the 30. Give him 4 on the carry, and it'll make this a 3rd and about 2.
Typically, we think it's the strong safeties that are better tacklers, especially closer to the line of scrimmage amidst traffic. But in this case, how about the free safety coming up and making the big-time play?
And he'll be touched down here, but not before he does pick up the first. 95 yards for him on the ground now. He has been a tough man to bring down all night. We've seen him break off a big run already in this game, and for a second, that one looked like it might be another.
I think that any defense would say, look, we can't let him get to the second level, because sometimes he'll break off the big run on his own, but oftentimes you get additional blocking at the second level, which...
Oh, the turnover fest continues. Here's another interception. Brandon Jones picking it off, and he will bring it back. It's a pick-6 and a Dolphins touchdown.
We constantly talk about defenders having great vision and being able to see plays unfold and make their own plays, but you also have to have good feel as well, because you can't see everything out there. See the play unfold, feel what's going on, and then get to the right spot and make your own play. And in this case, it turned out to be a highlight one.
So they throw the pick-6. They'll get another shot at it now as this one's in the air. Oh, a dangerous return man showing it here. And he nearly broke that for more, but as it is, still a good return. They'll start the drive right around the 37. Philadelphia getting set to take the field. Now remember, they were just out here a moment ago through the pick 6, so we'll see if they can take better care of the football this go-around.
Yeah, and sometimes, partner, I think it's almost better that you just throw the pick 6 and you come right back out on the field. You're not over on the sidelines dwelling for it for very long. You're not hearing everyone say, hey, you'll get them next time. Hey, don't worry about it. All that stuff just goes right out the window. You're right back out on the field with a chance to atone.
Hurts throw taken in by Watkins here. And they get this well past midfield before being stopped just before the 35. The extra effort after the catch makes it good for a gain of 26 and also a first down.
And this was a nice example of an offensive coordinator scheming his guy open. Just a little underneath route, just trying to free up some space, and it worked awfully well. Got him not just space, but plenty of room to run after the catch to pick up really nice yardage.
Line of scrimmage moves from one 37-yard line to the other as they come up 1st and 10. Hurts. And that went too far in front. He couldn't reel it in. It's incomplete. So another incompletion there. He's hitting on fewer than half his pass attempts in this one, and that is not a winning formula.
Yeah, so let's make sure we give a little bit of credit to the defense here. They've given him a lot to think about, a lot of different looks, and he seems a little bit confused trying to complete passes.
9 yards, not quite enough, and they'll be left now with 3rd and 1.
Well, that last run makes this a 100-yard night. I've loved the way he's hit the holes. He's been quick, he's been decisive, and he's been a whole lot of fun to watch.
They'll try and run here with Swift. And that one going nowhere from the start as he's met in the backfield and goes backwards. Tough sledding. They lose a yard there on 3rd. The kick by Elliott is good, and they have regained the lead. So it was 4th and 1. They wind up taking the 3. I'm not sure that that offensive unit, judging by the sideline, Charles, was in 100% agreement with the decision.
No, not at all. But the head coach has final call on this. We know that. But let's face it, offenses want to feel like, hey, you believe in us, let us go for it. We'll see if that is a problem for them moving forward in this game.
And the Dolphins getting set to go here. So now, Charles, this drive maybe a touch more important, trying to erase the memory of that interception they had the last time out.
Yeah, and everyone goes through this because even the best in the game, you're going to have games where it just doesn't go right for you and interceptions result. So, frankly, to me, it's all about how you respond, not just the types of plays that you call, but how you carry yourself, how you show your team that you're still with it, and how you continue to lead.
The drive starting with a first down, 11 yards on that pickup. Tua sets up to pass it. Oh, he was hit as he threw it there, and that one winds up incomplete.
And those two just haven't been in sync thus far. They've done a nice job against him, but still, with his talent, you would expect him to have more completions to him in this game.
From the gun, it's Tua. Getting this out to the flat, Mostert. And getting this just shy of midfield. They'll spot it at the 49. That one good for 13 and a Dolphin first down.
Well, they certainly had success throughout this contest, getting him the ball in the passing game, and there he picks up another first down. Whatever they saw going into this one, they've been able to capitalize on it, and no adjustment has been made to take it away.
Throwing on first down, but this one winds up to be incomplete.
Well, this at least is the right idea. I think they've got to get the tight end more involved.
He had just one target in the first half, incomplete. Now incomplete here with the first target of the second half.
Yeah, should not stop them at all from going back to him, though. Find him. Find him.
Tua to try again on second down. That's complete to Mostert out of the backfield. And he's able to take it across midfield before going out of bounds. He'll get only 3 there, so it leaves him with a 3rd and 7 ahead.
And we see another pitch and catch there to the running back. This position just continues to evolve. They become just as critical to the passing attack as a lot of receivers, tight ends, because their ability to make people miss in the open field can really generate big plays for an offense.
And he has another first down as they'll get the ball down to the Eagles' 34-yard line. A third down conversion with a strong gain of 14. That catch for his career's number 731, and that's the number that Calvin Johnson ended with when he stopped his career in 2016.
Yeah, what could have been for him, so maybe not.
Blitz coming, and down he goes. Hassan Reddick able to drop him that time for his second sack of the evening. One quarter remains here on a Sunday night. You are watching the NFL on EA Sports. And welcome back. We are in the city of brotherly love, Philadelphia. It's been a good one so far. Just a 2-point game here as we get set for quarter number 4. Throwing now is Tagovailoa. Short throw hauled in by Croft. And he'll go out of bounds after taking it a little further down inside the 40. It'll go as a gain of 4. And they're going to face an uphill battle here on 3rd and long. Tua going to throw. He's going to let this go. Back of the end zone. He's got it. Touchdown, Dolphins. Jalen Waddle, 39 yards. And the Dolphins have moved out in front here in the 4th quarter. This has definitely been a back-and-forth affair, and now they have the lead here in the 4th quarter.
Yeah, and they gave up the field goal on that last drive, as we remember, but it felt like their offense told them don't.
And now remember, all touchdowns are reviewed, and in a tight game like this, they're going to take a good long look at it. They're taking a peek at whether or not those feet were in bounds, and obviously a big call here in the end zone.
And not just the feet. How about the hands? How is the ball possessed while the feet are hopefully getting down in bounds? That's what they're trying to look at to see if it all comes together.
So they called it a touchdown originally, and this will stay a touchdown after the video review, so they had it right. Extra point up and good by Sanders, and the lead is up to 5. Bailey now to kick it away after the touchdown. This taken in at the goal line. And he'll get it up across the 20 to the 21-yard line. Here comes Eagle offense now as they get set to take over here. We certainly have a good one on our hands. They're trailing after that last touchdown, but now a chance for this offense to try to snag that lead right back here in the 4th quarter. On first down, Hurts. He'll try and set up the screen. It's complete. And he's going to get this one across the 30-yard line. Nice way to start the drive. A gain of 12 and a first down.
That's good for Eagles.
Here's a handoff to Swift running left. And not a whole lot of room to operate there on the first down run. He gets maybe 3.
Look, all any running back wants is a little bit of room, a little bit of space in order to maneuver. But he also understands how difficult it is for his offensive line up front. So if they give him any space, he realizes it.
Down the numbers. There he goes. Look at the big fella go. Touchdown, Philadelphia. Dallas got him. 64 yards. And the Eagles answer back with a touchdown of their own to take a 4th quarter lead. So minutes after giving up the lead in the 4th quarter, they say not so fast. Big play, and they grab that lead right back.
Talk about a seesaw game. Up, down, up, down. Did you have a seesaw? Did you play that when you were a kid?
Oh, yeah. Out on the playground, absolutely.
You had to make sure that you matched weight, though, on the other side, though, right? Otherwise, you could be up in the air a long time.
By the way, we're not done in this one. I think we're set up for an exciting finish. So a big play for the Eagles now as they'll go for 2. Hurts will throw. And he'll get into the end zone. So now a field goal would only tie as they up their lead to 3. Now after the touchdown, here's Elliott on to kick it away. And this will not be returned. It'll come out to the 25. Miami set to take over. And they will be looking to answer the touchdown their defense just surrendered. Still a good chunk of time remaining here in the fourth quarter and a chance to regain the lead in a tight one. Tua now on first down. And his throw's going to be incomplete.
We know it's not an easy job to go out and catch passes when people are trying to tackle you and knock the ball away. But the bottom line is, that's a pass he's got to have and a pass he should have caught.
Looking to pass. Tua. And he's got his man in stride, complete. And he'll be upended at the 28-yard line. Just a 3-yard gain there. One of the bigger plays in the game thus far. The crowd getting into it as we come up on a big third down. Now Tua. Oh, and Tua going to be intercepted for the third time. Picked up by Hassan Reddick. And he's going to get this one to the 23-yard line. Now that's a ball that he is going to want to keep, his first career interception in the National Football League.
And I love what teams do when that happens. You bring the ball to the sideline, the equipment guy grabs it, he puts a piece of tape on it, writes on it so that you know what it is, and then they tuck it away so that you can have it for later and put it on your mantle. Pretty good deal for him right there. Now he's eager to get back out on the field and get his second one.
Here's the Philadelphia offensive unit now as they head out to take over possession. Another important fourth quarter series coming up. That last INT helping to maintain their slim advantage. And he will be brought down at about the 6-yard line. 124 yards on the ground for him now as he has gotten better really as the night's gone on. Got to figure now after getting that turnover they're just going to be happy to keep the ball on the ground, right?
This is where covering the football, taking care of the ball, all the ball security terms that have ever been used, they come into play for the guys on offense right now. Just take care of it.
And he is into the end zone. Touchdown, Philadelphia. DeAndre Swift, his second touchdown of the night. And the Eagles are able to build on to their fourth quarter lead. Some good running there at the end of the drive. He had the burst that set up the first and goal, and then one play later, he's in the end zone.
Brandon, what I liked about that sequence is I'm not sure who made the play call, but they understood the situation, understood the momentum. A nice hard-charging run, give it right back to him, and let him cap things off.
Elliott good on the extra point, and his guys will take a 10-point lead. Now after the touchdown, here's Elliott on to kick it away. And he'll very wisely take a knee here as they'll bring this one out to the 25 on the touchback. Out comes the Miami offensive unit now. They get set to take over. Yeah, the script really is flipped for them. The momentum on the other sideline, and now they have to try and battle back from a 2-score deficit. Tua and the Dolphins now with a 1st and 10 at their own 25-yard line. Trying to shake off the interception. He'll look to throw. Throw right side, going to be caught here by Waddle. Yeah, this will leave him a yard short. Nice pickup of 9 yards on first down. Tua's throw caught by his receiver Hill. And Hill is going to have the Dolphins first down up near the 40-yard line. Setting to throw on first down is Tua. That's Waddle. He's got the catch on the out route. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. Meanwhile, Tua's throw is taken in by Waddle. And he'll be taken down after a gain of about 8, as that will lead us to the 2-minute warning. Tua. That's swung out to Mostert. And he gets it down a yard or two shy of the 30 before he's out of bounds. Clock management definitely critical here if they want to get back in this game.
Absolutely agreed. They have to up the tempo in this case, down a couple of scores. Want to make sure they have a chance to win this ball game.
And now a throw on first down there, but it's incomplete.
Whew, that's certainly not the worst thing. It stops the clock and lets your offense catch its breath and lets us exhale a little bit. Now I expect them to call a couple plays in the huddle, so they're ready if a tackle happens inbounds.
Here's Tua. And he showed off the athletic juke. Good little gain there. Not a whole lot of real estate, but a nice carry. Work in the middle of the field, and he's got a man complete. And they will touch him down, but not before he gets the first.
It's a gain of 3. First down, Miami.
Now Tua. This is caught by Waddle. And the Dolphins are going to be looking at first and goal as they move this down to the 4-yard line. Throwing Tua. And this is caught now for a late touchdown. So hold everything here. This one's not over yet.
I'm not sure win-win is the proper term here, but it certainly felt like it. They got the touchdown they needed, but if I'm on the defensive side of the ball, okay, you got the touchdown, but it sure took you a long time.
Yeah, because offensively there, you're probably hoping for a 1 to 5 play drive. That one ate up a little more time than they were hoping.
You're exactly right, and if you have that 1 to 5 play drive, you actually build up momentum and even more hope. When they had to slog their way downfield, they got the touchdown, but it's almost like, yeah, you know,
doesn't feel right.
Exactly.
And the Eagles are going to recover. And that might be enough to put a bow on this one. Fourth quarter, they felt like they needed the football back. Unfortunately, they couldn't get it.
And I know we brought analytics into the game, and someone has said here that the data says that when a team's expecting an onside kick, 80% of the time, the team expecting it, they do actually recover the ball, which is what we saw here. I just wonder if that number is much more of an anecdotal type of a number. Kind of like when the coaches tell us, well, when you score on special teams, 93% of the time you win the game. I'm still waiting to see that number is empirical.
A run for the former Seahawk. It's Rashad Penny. And he's going to have to protect the football and take his lumps here at this stage of the game as they stop him behind the line. First down marker at the 31. It's third down. They run out of the gun with Swift. A solid stiff arm. Now the Dolphins will use the last of their timeouts as they stop it here with just under 40 seconds to go in the game. And they take a knee. And a sight that's becoming familiar in this season. They remain undefeated, another win under their belt.
And they did it the way that they really want to. Taking a knee at the end of the game. That means you have the ball, you're in control, you dictate the final part of this ball game, and they did exactly that.
And the clock rolls down to 0. What a ball game this was. What an atmosphere this was. And the home team getting the late touchdown, getting the victory, and now everybody in this building can file away with smiles on their faces.
And what do real estate people tell us all the time? It's location, location, location. So being at home, that could be a big deal because remember, they were down to their final chance to retake the lead. That home field advantage, I think it helped fuel all of what happened for them down the stretch. A huge win.
So for Philadelphia, their winning ways continue as they get it up to 7-0. And they will hit the road next week to take on Washington. Meanwhile, for the Dolphins, they fall a game under the 500 mark at 3-4 through 7 games. And they'll get a chance to redeem themselves at home next week. So for Charles Davis and our entire crew, I'm Brandon Gaudin. Next game, guess what? Charles and I will be here again. It's the NFL on EA Sports.